Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Welcome to class. Welcome to our personal development masterclass. Yes, this is going to be an amazing journey. Welcome, friends. Tell me where you are joining from. I can see three persons live already. Where are you joining from today? I love to hear from you. I love to read your comments as well. Let me see if you can see me from this end. I'm going to check from my laptop to know if you can see me. Okay, I see Favor in the room. Favor, how are you doing? Welcome to class. Welcome to class. All right. So let me see. Let me see. Okay, we are live now. Okay, Johnny from Yobe State. Welcome to class. How was your day? Tell me, how was your day? How was your day today? I hope it went well. How was the experience today? Did you enjoy yourself today? Did you enjoy yourself today? Okay, someone is joining from Abia State. Welcome to class, friends. I'm super excited to have you in the building. This is the voice of Coach Faith, friends. It's been an awesome ride just preparing for this amazing session. So tell me, where did you get the information about this program? I'd like to hear from you. Where did you get the information about our personal development masterclass? Tell me in the room. I'd love to read from you. Someone says it was well spent. Beautiful. I'm excited to hear that as well. I'm excited to hear that. So before we get started, I'm trying to check from this end. You see me looking this way. I'm trying to check out to see if I can see myself, so I can read your comments directly from here. So I can read your comments. Okay, someone says from Facebook, good and fine. Is this your first time joining us in a live session like this? If it's your first time, tell me. First time. Is it your first time? Let's know if it's your first time joining us in a class like this. Is this your first time joining us? Okay. I can see us here now. Let me see if I can read comments as well. Yeah, I see your comment. Someone is joining from Kaduna, from Abia State. Beautiful. I see someone joining from where are you joining from? First time Gloria Augustine is joining us for the first time. I'm glad to have you, Gloria. Gloria, welcome to class. Welcome to class today. All right, so if you haven't liked this video, I'd like you to go ahead and like the video, okay? Like it and then subscribe to this channel so we can flow, so we can take this to the next level, all right? If today is your first time seeing me, my name is Faith Michael. I'm a personal development coach. I help individuals, professionals, leaders across board to build capacity, to expand their influence, make impact, and really do something meaningful in the world. If you are here for a purpose, I like to type purpose in the room. All right, type purpose in the room. If you are here for the first, somebody says WhatsApp group, beautiful. So type purpose in the room, that you are here for a purpose. You are in existence for a purpose. You are alive for a reason. Yes, I see that. Thank you. I'm alive for a reason. I'm alive to serve the will of God. I'm alive to make the life of the next person better. But then, how can I become so empowered to be able to do the needful in terms of what it has to do with my life in existence, my life as a person, all right, as a masterpiece? How do I begin to run with this so that I can really do the needful? I can really own my voice. Do you know what it means to own your voice? In fact, I'm going to have a masterclass on that. When it comes to owning your voice, it is really about unleashing your greatest potential, right? When somebody says, "Oh, you have to own your voice," it's really not just about becoming a powerful speaker, being able to articulate and express your values and your wisdom in the world. It goes beyond that, friends. You have to understand that it is really about you understanding what you have on the inside of you. Many of us really do not understand what we have on the inside. And that is why this movement is pertinent. This movement is a necessity for us to be able to take our transformation to the next level, for us to be able to take our life of growth and impact to the next level, right? So welcome on board. Let me applaud you again. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, welcome to class. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. So this is a master class on personal development. So if you've ever heard about personal development before, what does it even mean? All right, in a sentence or a word or even a phrase, I'd like you to tell me in the comments, what do you understand by personal development? When you hear the term personal development, when you saw the flyer, personal development masterclass, what does it mean for you? What does it look like? If someone was to ask you that question today, oh, you tell yourself, yes, I'm on the path of growth. I'm on the path of personal development. What does it mean to be on the path of personal development? From our flyer said today, you're going to learn a lot. Of course, this is a journey. It has taken me more than 15 years to get here. I officially started off on my personal development journey 2010 to be precise. That was when I started off on this journey. All right. Someone said self. I think I need to put this up. Someone says self improvement. Olayemi Ogunleye. Interesting. That's beautiful. There's even a book I love to read again and again. I love to recommend this before we go on board. Many of you know me as a reading coach, and we run a global reading community. The title of the book is Self Improvement 101. Self Improvement 101 by John C. Maxwell. I read a book many years ago, and it was so profound. It was so powerful. And I like to recommend that book. So it also means self improvement. Now, the overall essence of self improvement, first of all, has to be unraveled. Okay? Why are we on the path of self improvement? Why do we want to get better? It is because we want to fulfill purpose. It is because we want to make more money. We want to be able to make our life better. We want to become better parents, better teachers. 2010, 2011, when I became very active as a Sunday school teacher, I started to envisage for more. I wanted to impact many people, all right, to say beyond just the Sunday school, I saw the hunger in the faces of people that they wanted to grow. And I started to look beyond just the four walls of the Sunday school class, that I wanted to impact my world. I want to teach people globally. Each time I step up on stage, I'm like, there is so much that people have to learn from me. Like I started to see that people are really hungry, able to step into the life of brilliance. But how many people really understand how to structure their lives, how to put themselves together in a position where personal development becomes their beck and call? I have seen again and again that people start off on the journey, but they don't keep up. All right? Did you see that? How many of you have been on this journey? Like after a while, you stop. Somebody says improving yourself. Interesting. Improving yourself. Let me read that from here. Improving yourself. Another person says personal development. Let me scroll down so I can see that. Another person says personal development. That's from Manzini. Jethro says improving yourself. Mazzini Andrew says personal development is the process of intentionally improving yourself, your skills, and your life. Interesting, profound, profound. It involves setting goals, building self awareness, and in working on personal growth in all areas of your life. Okay? Alex also says improving yourself. Beautiful. These are all powerful explanations to the topic personal development. And I get you. I know that you understand what it means because everybody wants to self-actualize. If you look at the Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, how many of you have studied it in economics? How many of you did economics here in school? The Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. At the highest rung of the ladder is what we call self-actualization. All right? Self-actualization. That is at the highest rung of that ladder. At the bottomless, at the bottom of the ladder is when we talk about survivor, right? Food, shelter, housing, clothing, right? and all of that. Those are the basic necessities of a man. Those are the basic things that we are looking at for in life. Oh, I want to eat good food. I want to dress well. I want to live in a gated estate. Those are the basic necessity of a man. All right. But a lot of people actually don't go beyond that level, especially in this part of the world where we are from, Africa, or even as a Nigerian. In fact, Nigeria, as it is, for example, has been rated as one of the most poorest nation in the world, right? I don't know about your country, maybe where you are from. I don't know the statistics, maybe concerning a particular aspect of life, meaning that the vast majority of people are living under survivor. They're trying to survive. They're trying to keep up with a job that will barely feed you in a month. All right. How many of you understand what I'm saying? If you understand, type I understand, coach. Many people can barely survive off of their penny that they're being paid. So how can somebody who is trying to survive even begin to think about self-actualization? Not talk of transcendence. Beyond the level of self-actualization is what we call transcendence. All right, where you truly become a conduit, a channel of blessing to the next person, where you truly become a channel of blessing to the next person. By becoming a channel, I mean you understand what God has said concerning you. Now you are a masterpiece and you're walking in the light of that vision. You're walking in the light of what you carry on the inside of you. Do you know what I'm saying? So it now goes beyond, oh, what will I eat? Some people, it's really about belonging. Oh, I have to be in a family meeting. I have to be in this group. I have to be in that group so that they can accept me. But at the highest level of the ladder is self actualization. That is when you begin to even step into the realm of bliss gradually. That is when you begin to step into the realm of bliss, little by little, right? Self actualization is really about living the life of purpose, becoming more aware of yourself, understanding that you have a potential, that you need to unleash your potential. There are these three books written by Dr. Miles Monroe. The first book is called Understanding Your Potential. The second one is really about releasing your potential. And the third one is about maximizing your potential. Those books started to come to heart recently. And I told myself, "Okay, when I get to the market, I'm going to get the books because most often we do books giveaway to people in our Project One Book to Impact. So I told myself, possibly in the coming days, I'll get some of those books if they are still in the market within my environment. All right. So these three books, Miles Moron, you know, how many of you know the late Dr. Miles Moron? He wrote these three books: Understanding Your Potential, Releasing Your Potential, and Maximizing Your Potential. Because at the highest realm of self-actualization, I mean, understanding the hierarchical order of needs is where you now begin to know that you are more than a surviving species. You are more than that person who is just trying to keep up a life, who is trying to eat, who is trying to look good. You are more than that. You are bigger than that, right? But then it's not always easy to come to terms with such level of understanding. It takes it takes consistency. Now let me even tell you, when I started to make the decision that I wanted to impact more life, I wanted to become a conduit, a blessing to my nation, to people all around the world, but I didn't even know what I was doing. Like I didn't have vivid roadmap on what to do, right? Because many of you here right now, it's possible that you have told yourself, I want to make impact. I want to change the life of the next person. I know I'm meant to be a public speaker. I know I'm meant to be a leader in my industry. But the thing is, you have tried again and again. You did it last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now you don't even know where to start from. You are confused. You're like, Coach Faith, should I even continue on this journey? Let me even say this to you before we continue. For those of you that are going to stay to the end of this class, right, I'm going to note your name because I have a special package for you. A special package for you. Guess what? It is absolutely free, right? It is absolutely free for me to engage you on a direct level. One-on-one mini challenge for 3 days. I'm going to give 5% access to it after this class to work with me this coming week so that you can put a structure around your pathway of expression. See, I started to look at this journey of personal development because if I had someone to walk me through the journey, I would not be here today. All right? Because I didn't have the proper structure. I kept on reading books randomly. I kept on attending seminars. There's one masterclass there, I dashed into it. How many of you watched the intro video to your registration. Where I spoke about the fact that many a times if personal development goes beyond just attending random classes. How many of you did? If you did, say I did. I said personal development goes beyond attending random classes. So that is why I'm going to be taking up that challenge with about 5 persons this week. All right, starting from on Monday. But if you want to apply, you would have to apply after this class. So once this class is over, my assistant will share the link in the room. You would apply, but then you would tell me, Coach, I attended the class till the end, and they will look at what you've got and why you're interested, and then you apply because you have to apply for it. If you're approved, then I'll take you on for 3 days for free. Like you're not paying anything for it. In fact, the last time I did it for someone, it was for $50 minimum, right? So we're going to do that together. If you're interested, say I am interested, and I will stay till the end. Let me see the names already. Say I am interested, and I'll stay till the end. Like I said, 5 persons. Because of my schedule, I will not be able to work with more people within this time frame. So let's continue the class. So you realize, you're welcome, Alex. You realize that I didn't have a proper roadmap, right? I didn't have a proper roadmap on how to navigate my journey, right? I didn't have a proper roadmap on how to navigate my journey. Okay? It was a problem. I kept on running in circles. And that's why I have dedicated my life to this journey to be able to help as many people as possible to step into their realm of growth, to stop winging their personal development journey. Like, you've got to stop winging it. Stop doing trial and error. All right? That today you have tried. Next year, we are coming to the end of the year right now, and someone will say, oh my God, I see Ojerinde, I see Glory, I see Jethro. So if these 3 persons send me a DM after the class, I'm going to attend to you. Okay, I see 5 persons already. Alex and then Olayemi. That's beautiful. All right. So what am I saying in a nutshell, friends? That I kept on winging the process. I kept on winging the process. I kept on winging it. I didn't know how to really follow the path that was already set for me. Let me tell you the truth. Personal development has to be customized. I'd like you to type that in the comments. Personal development has to be what? Customized. You've got to customize your journey. Type it in the room. You've got to customize your journey. A lot of us are moving haphazardly. We are moving haphazardly. We're not structured. We are not structured on our journey. We are moving haphazardly. We have 17 persons live. Let's make up this room to 800 subscribers. Let's make it to 800 subscribers. Let's go ahead and subscribe and then like. All right, let me celebrate you. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so you discover that at the end of the day, friends, it was really a challenge. So you see that kind of structure that you set in your life. Today you are reading a book, tomorrow you are sleeping. The other day you're like, oh, I want to change my life. And another day, things are not working for you. I want you to understand that your journey is unique because you carry a mandate, because you carry a purpose. It has to be what? Customized to your journey. You know why? So that at the end of the day, what took me 10 years, all right, we end up just taking you 1 year to figure out. Yes, somebody told me one time, Coach Faith, I think you should start teaching people how they can make money from personal development. Yes, I should start teaching people how to do it because, of course, when I started off on the journey, I didn't know personal development could give money. All right? I didn't know it could give any dime or any money to anybody. I remember people would often ask me, "Oh, these books that you are reading, are they going to pay you? Are they going to give you money?" People often ask those questions. All right? Have you been asked those questions? Maybe you are a reader here, and somebody sees you always carrying books around. This is like, this is like you are reading books. Are you sure this book you're reading is going to make you? It's going to give you money. It's going to put food on your table. And someone randomly said to me one time, I saw my old classmate somewhere around Benin. I'm from Edo State, all right? I saw my classmate around that axis, and then he called me, Hafez, you should be working in an oil firm right now because you guys were so intelligent, you guys were readers, you guys were this, and I know for sure deep down that he was trying to ridicule me. He was trying to mock me because I was so deliberate with it. But guess what? That didn't put a lot of results on my table. There was no much tangibility that I could interact with. Okay? I see the reason people get frustrated. Somebody says, my mom asked me, interesting. That's what we're saying. All right, your mom is even fair enough. People would ask you, why does she speak good English a lot? She talks intelligently. But that is she's saying, is it bringing anything? Is it bringing any dividends? Is it bringing any results? No, it's not bringing nothing, right? If I had someone to teach me how to customize my pathway for results, I would be flying right now. All right? And that's why I want you to calm down. Let's work on this personal development journey together. I started off teaching intensely on personal development, growth, reading skills, and a whole lot since 2019, 2020. I became more deliberate with it. It became my life and everything. And that is why you are here today. And I want to really celebrate you for joining. I want to celebrate. I like you to celebrate yourself in the comments. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. I like you to celebrate yourself, guys. Celebrate yourself because it is not easy. A lot of people are looking for so many things. They are looking for quick wins. In fact, our generation likes instant gratification, right? Quick wins, quick results, things that can really just put all the results that they are looking for on the table. But I want you to understand that if you are here, it means that you are the selected few that are still interested in growth and alignment. I like you to type that in the room. Growth and alignment. Like you don't just want to make money, you don't just want to win through life, but you want to be able to set yourself on fire for your next level. You want to be able to set yourself on fire for the next level. So when we talk about having a structured roadmap, we're talking about what is your vision, all right, for the season. What is your vision for the season? What are your goals? When we talk about your vision is like a vivid picture of a future that you have seen. The person you have seen yourself becoming, all right? Yes, well done. The person you have seen yourself becoming, that is a vivid picture, right? We'll talk about your goals, we're talking about the things you can achieve now. In the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, what can you achieve now? Those are your goals. And then we'll talk about your milestones. We're talking about your operational objectives, the things you want to do on a weekly, daily basis, right? Those are the things we're talking about. And then when we talk about beyond your milestones now, we're not going to talk about your tangible results, your tangible evidence, and a whole lot. So a lot of times, if you don't understand what it is that you're looking forward to, you cannot even put a structure together. It's going to be difficult. So it is from there you would also begin to understand your learning archetype, your learning patterns. Maybe some of our upcoming sessions in this masterclass, we're going to be talking about those things as well. All right. So we'll also be looking at your learning archetype and all of those different experiences so that you can be able to really run with this. Like I would always say, when you know how a thing works, it works better. If you know how to be able to zone into your life today and begin to get the results that you're looking forward to, it is going to be easy, right? You stop winging it. You stop looking everywhere because when you know your goals, you know your vision, you know your milestones. I mean, the steps you need to take that will drive you closer to that result. I call it your learning archetype, all right, or your learning patterns that will drive you closer to the result you seek. Now, have you heard of the concept called learned helplessness before? Learned helplessness is a situation that one can be in, all right, that you seem to have tried again and again, and you look at your life, I'm not getting results. Why should I keep bothering myself? How many of you have been there? Learned helplessness. That's what it is called. Learned helplessness. You've gotten to a level where you're like, I don't think I want to try anymore. I've read all the books. I've attended all the master classes online. I'm still not making money. My life is not advancing. Nothing is happening. In fact, I'm tired. I am not doing again. It is called learned helplessness. So because people do not have a proper structure of what their roadmap should be like, they keep on procrastinating. Some people, their problem is what? Procrastination. How many of you know what procrastination is? All right? You want to do this thing, but you find yourself not doing it. You really want to keep up, but after some time, you see yourself not keeping up. Procrastination, learned helplessness, distraction, scrolling the media, not staying focused and consistent on your path of growth. It is as a result of the fact that people do not have a structure. All right, because when you have a structure and you know for sure we have 3 months left in this year, this is what I want to achieve in December. All right, I try to tell myself, in fact, I wanted to be teaching master classes every week from January, but I told myself, no, I should start it now. When the waters are stirred, you step into action. You don't wait for another day. You get to work immediately. That is how you build enthusiasm. That is how you build momentum for your next level. You don't wait. All right? So, yes, it is putting off things. Thank you. Right? Things you know that when you work on them, they are going to move the needle further in the direction of your dream. They are going to move the needle further in the direction of your dream. But rather, you don't keep up with them. You don't keep up with them. You joke, you play around. Do you see that? So at the end of the day, you are not getting results. Before you know it, you are stuck. We are so blessed in this season. Somebody should type blessing in the room. We are so blessed in this season. You know why? Because this is the era where we have access to powerful relationships that can set up us on fire. Powerful relationship, mentorship, through mentorship, through coaching like this, through peer partnership, right? Through membership, we have access to all of these possibilities. We have access to all of these beautiful experiences. We have access to all of these beautiful encounters. You get that? So we have a lot of opportunities at our beck and call right now. But the truth is, how many people are truly doing the needful? How many people are truly staying committed and connected to get the result that they seek? So someone has been trying to get past the state of inertia. Someone has been trying to get past the place of distractions and procrastinations, but they have not been able to pull through. Why? If I may ask, why? Because possibly they have tried. They have tried again and again, but life is not just working for them. They are not getting the result that they seek. Things are not falling into places for them. So they are discouraged. They are carried away. They're like, oh my God, why is my life like this? Why am I in this position? Earlier this year, you had so many thoughts, right? In January, you told yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. By February, the momentum started to die. And then by March, you attended another seminar. Now we are rounding off the month of September. In a few days from now, by God's grace, we are rounding off the month of September. We just have 3 months to go. And some people will say right now that they are already planning for next year. Can you imagine that? That they are already planning for 2026. When you see have 3 months, 3 months that you can use to structure your life to ensure that you get results. All right? Let's talk about self awareness. When we talk about personal development, self awareness is a game changer. Like it is the foundational practice that you must become deliberate with to be able to take your life to the next level. All right? Self awareness, as it is a conscious ability to observe. Okay? Let me shift my laptop this way so I don't keep turning my neck. Okay? It is the conscious ability for you to observe and understand yourself. Come on now. Someone once said, if you have not gotten a PhD in mastering who you are, then you are playing. You are a joke. If you have not gotten a PhD in knowing you, Alex, if you have not gotten a PhD in knowing you, Gloria, then you are a joke. You are playing with fire. That's the truth. Because you are so powerful, my friend. You carry enormous possibilities within the fibers of your being. You carry so much that the world is yet to see. Many a times, when you see the goodness in people, you admire them so much that you forget about yourself. You admire them so much, knowing fully well that you were also created by the same hands, by the same God. You admire them so much, you now begin to dwell in the realm of admiration that you even forget that you carry a level of brilliance on the inside of you. All right? This is your deliverance right now. The opportunity that you've been looking for to become a structured personality so that at the end of the day you can begin to live the life that God has ordained you to live. So when we talk about self-awareness, we're saying, do you know you, Alex? Do you know you? Okay? How well do you know you? On a scale of 1 to 10, I like you to write in the room. 1 is the least, 10 is the highest. So tell me, how well do you know yourself? Yes, that's it, Cola. Oh, I see Cola in the room. Welcome. Excel, welcome to class. If you have not gotten a PhD, that is it. That is it. if you have not gotten a PhD, my people, you are joking. Oh. Yes, just like people go to school, if you want to get their masters, they want to get their PhD. If you have not gotten a PhD about yourself when it comes to personal growth, don't stop. And that is why it is called lifelong journey. It's a lifelong journey. Okay? Lifelong journey. In fact, even at time and era, we call them knowledge workers. Right? If you're someone on a personal development journey, you are a knowledge worker. I used to have a friend back in the days in school. Each time he sees me coming, be like, oh, knowledge worker is coming. Knowledge worker is coming. I didn't know what it meant, but I just loved it. Okay? He would also call me knowledge worker. I meant, okay, I just felt possibly knowledge worker is somebody because I was selling books. Knowledge worker is somebody possibly that likes to talk about books, or maybe just coined it. I didn't know it was actually a real word or a real term. Okay? I didn't know it was actually real. So somebody says 6. So you know yourself to the level of 6. Jethro. So I like to have a conversation with you, maybe through my growth roadmap challenge that I just opened up. I'm going to be sharing that with you, or you apply just for specific people, only 5 persons after this class. Okay? So I will know if I have a conversation with you if you are actually 6. All right? Alex says 7. Interesting. So you guys are so sure, like you're sure that you know you. Okay? Knowing yourself is actually the beginning of wisdom. I like to type that in your notebook. Knowing yourself is the beginning of what? Wisdom. So it has to do with how well you have been able to grow in consciousness, how well you have been able to observe your surroundings, to understand yourself at both the surface and the deeper level. So when we talk about knowing, we're not just talking about the surface. Maybe you know the color of your skin, you know the way you talk, you know the way you smile and all of that. No, it goes beyond that. It goes into your core. All right. It's not about knowing your name and your age or where you come from. It's not about that. So when somebody reach out and it's like, "Oh, Alex, who are you?" What will you say? Will you just say, "My name is Alex. I'm from this very part of this country. I'm a businessman or I'm a student. I'm this and that." Will that be your conversation with the person? That is really actually at the surface, right? But when we talk about self-awareness, it goes deeper. It goes beyond just the externalities. There's also the internal layer of getting to know yourself better. So it is knowing who you are at your core. CORE. I like you to type that. CORE. It is knowing who you are at your core. So it's an ongoing practice of getting to know your thoughts. I'd like you to write it in the room. Your thoughts, your emotions, your triggers, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and a lot, and how your actions also impact the world around you. Many of us do not know how our actions get to impact the next person. We really do not know how we get to impact the life of the next person. It could be our partner, our life partner, maybe our husband, our business associate. It could be in our community, it could be in our business environment. We really do not know how our actions tend to influence, all right, influence the next person. So many times we're actually walking in denial. So we don't even know. There's what we call the Johari window. How many of us know about the Johari window? Johari. You can actually go and research it after now. Okay, in the Johari window, there are several parts of it. We have majorly 4 compartments. One of the compartments speaks to the heart of the hidden window. All right? The hidden window is that part of you that actually you do not know about yourself, but people know about you. And that's why many a times, maybe you must have seen people who would send you some kind of DMs and say, "Oh, please tell me about what you think, um, the way you think I behave. Share with me some thoughts around who I am. What have you experienced just being my friend for the past years, or just being my business associate for the past years?" And they will actually share with you. Some will be very honest and they will share with you. And then you'll be like, "Really? Is this true? Is this really me?" That is the hidden window. There are things that you really do not know about you. Till the day you die, you will never know. I'm telling you. So till the day you die, you will never know those things about it. It is not rocket science. You cannot wing it. And that's why many a times, like I said before, that you have to understand how to begin to build powerful relationships. Relationships that will set you ablaze, that will set you on fire. That even when you are going abstract, you're going outside of what is required for you to have a proper conversation with yourself, for you to be able to build yourself, cooperate with yourself, become more conscious, build a heightened level of self awareness so you can scale. You've got to be able to get those kind of relationships on board so that they can continue to checkmate. All right. Many a times it works best with a mentor and a coach, someone who is not afraid of you, who will not look at your face anyway. They get to tell you what they know, what mistakes you're making, the areas you're not getting things right. They get to share with you. So the onus now lies on you whether you're going to take those things and use them for your good. All right? People call some of those things constructive criticism. It doesn't work out destructive criticism, right? Okay? So people call it constructive criticism. So self-awareness is really about holding on, right? And checking yourself in the mirror. Apostle Paul says something very profound in the Bible. He says that we ought to continue to check ourselves in the mirror whether we're still in the Lord. So there's every tendency for someone who is on a path of growth to take up their journey of intentionality seriously when they become so deliberate about looking into the future that they've always prayed for, right? They look at their life and they're like, is my journey really aligning? Am I procrastinating too much? Am I joking too much? Am I playing too much with my journey? What are some of the things I really need to begin to look into that will propel me? Like you really want to scale. You are telling yourself, in the next 6 months, this is where I see myself going to, right? So you really need some of those feedback to be able to refine and expand your capacity and expand your skills. All right? Personal development is a journey of skill building. You are constantly building skills. And there are seasons you could be in that you need to refine what you already have. And there are other seasons where you need to expand on what you already have. Because expansion is for taking up territory. Expansion is for taking up new ground, right? Conquering new ground. But refinement is for mastery. You get it? Refinement is for mastery. So if you are a public speaker, for example, you want to build capacity in public speaking, isn't it? So you looked at yourself, you're like, okay, I've been in the space of public speaking for the past 1 year. Now I want to ascend, I want to get better. What do you tell yourself? Oh, really, I want to begin to build myself in the area of vocabulary development because I know for sure I need to be able to articulate my words better. Sometimes I try to speak fluently, but I'm always stuck because I do not have words to utter. I'm always stuck because I do not have words to utter, right? I've been teaching this class for 40 minutes now, right? I've not even touched my notes up to about 0.01%. You see that? So you want to become a public speaker, but you have the right words. You have the right language. So you could tell yourself, in this season, I want to build my vocabulary in this very way. Right? So you start to learn. That is refinement as a public speaker. But expansion is when you deliberately sit down and ask yourself, I have been speaking for the past 5 years. I've been coaching and mentoring people from across the world. Now I want to expand my skills. I want to get better. I want to do this and do that. Okay, let me begin to organize events, physical events. Let me go to this country and organize a one-day event, a one-day retreat. Let me travel to this place. Let me write books. Let me do this and let me do that. That is deliberate expansion because right now you're not placing yourself in a position where you are going beyond your current positioning, right? You're not placing yourself in a position where you are doing what you have never done before. That is for expansion. So if you are not aware of who you are at time and who you are building yourself to become in 6 months, you may not even know which one to stay with. You see? And that's why somebody is already 30, is already 25, is already 40. And all you do is just to keep reading books. You are not doing nothing else. If they ask you, oh, I'm a part of personal development, you don't have a vision for your life. You don't even know the skills that you already have at your disposal. You don't know which one you need next for your next level. You have not been able to capture an essence for the future, right? So that is why you see yourself running in the same mountain again and again, just like the children of Israel. They spent 40 years in an environment where they were supposed to spend 11 days. Why? Because they didn't have a roadmap. If you have a roadmap, you know, when I move from point A to point B to point C to point D, it will become easier for me to step into that new horizon, right? To step into that new territory of my life. It will become much more easier for me to walk this path. You get it? So that is what it is. Self awareness is knowing yourself clearly and using that knowledge to live wisely. Wisdom is a principal thing in all your getting. Get what? Understanding. So self awareness is when you now come into the level where you know yourself so much that it is that wisdom you are using now to build yourself. You know that you have a skill in this area, but this is what the vision is. This is my vision. All right? Will this skill push me further to be able to accomplish this vision in the next 3 months, in the next 1 year? If they're not going to, then I need to begin to deliberately look out for the next set of skills that I need to stack together and build. And the more you learn new skills, the better of a craft person you become, the better of an expert you become. And people pay experts to do the job. People pay experts to do the job. They don't pay just regular people. They pay experts to do the job. If you want to go to the hospital for a surgery, you're not going to go look for some kind of doctors who didn't go to school, but they say they are doctors, but they didn't go to school. You are going to be scared as hell because you know that that is going to amount to something not too good, isn't it? It's going to amount to something not so good. So you must be ready to continue to stack up skills, learn new skills. So self awareness is really about climbing the ladder, okay, that is placed against that wall of success. All right, and as you continue to climb, you see yourself putting one foot in front of the other, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve what you ought to achieve on this journey. Self awareness is powerful. It is powerful. Yes, Alex. People pay experts to do the job. That's it. That's it. People will not pay you because you are beautiful or because you have a fine face. All right? They will not do that for you. They will pay you because you sat down to do the job. Because you sat down to do the job. You sat down to grow. You sat down to build capacity. That is it. So self awareness is really about sitting down even in the places where you are experiencing detours, you are experiencing challenges, you're almost giving up on yourself, but you don't because you know there is an expected end. Okay? There is an expected future that you anticipate. All right? The Bible says that Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. So, if you cannot even pen or understand what the bliss or joy looks like that you're anticipating, that you're looking forward to, you may not even be well ready to do the work. You may even get to a level where you stop. Have you ever been in that situation, like you start off on your personal growth journey and you stop? So, why is self awareness really necessary? Let me take water. Why is self awareness necessary? I like you to type in the room. Why is self awareness necessary? Why is it a necessity? Every great achievement in life begins from how well you are able to build yourself. I see a lot of things happening right now. In fact, I started off LinkedIn this year, January. I became more deliberate. I've shared it with members of my community again and again that I want to build on LinkedIn. I'm doing a lot on LinkedIn. But a lot of times I see young people coming on LinkedIn. Oh, I almost gave up yesterday, but I tried. I told myself I would not give up. And then I came back. Really? So I'm just looking at all of this feedback. I'm like, what's going on? And then sometimes you see somebody who has been posting, maybe for the past 6 months, and all of a sudden you no longer see them. And then sometimes you are even quick to say, okay, let me reach out to this person. What's going on? And you hear things like, oh, I just discovered that that was in my path for now. Like I was walking the wrong path and stuff like that. That is just on LinkedIn. But it happens daily in our lives. It happens daily. It's usually because people have not been able to build a foundation of getting to know them. Because beyond just the glamour of what we hear on social media, that you can make money online, beyond all of that, maybe you must have bought courses. A lot, how many of you have bought courses online when they told you make money? Let me see. Type money if you are in that position. Like you bought a lot of courses and they told you, oh, when you buy this course, you make money, you do that, you make money. I don't want to begin to name those things. You know those platforms, right? You make money and then you start trying. After a while, you just discover that you're not making money. But what if you have discovered your reason, your purpose, what who you are on a deeper level, and you started to zone in to build something that is incongruent with where you are headed? Wouldn't it be better? Like, will you be under pressure to want to perform in the office? Will you be under pressure to want to perform in any place? So, self awareness is foundational. Okay, see my people, they are here. They are here. Oh, they've bought so many things online. They want to make money. Okay, I see that. All right. So when you get to know yourself, it becomes easy. So you're no longer building for instant gratification or instant feedback. You are now building because you know that there is a purpose for you. You know that you are heading somewhere. You see that. You know that you are heading somewhere. So you're not just building because you are looking for instant results. It may not be money. It may be instant influence. You need a lot of people to follow you. You want to be able to do one or two for them. All right? All of those instant feedback and instant results, the Indomie kind of lifestyle, will not yield as much as possible. All right? What can yield as much as you can think about is something that you decide to build for the long run. Because at the lowest rung of the ladder is where you are so much on a survival mode. And when you're on a survival mode, the kind of energy that oozes out of your personality is a desperate one. And when you are desperate, money is not always attracted to desperation. That's the truth. Money is not always attracted to desperation. The energy you put out, if it is that of abundance, that of I am aware of who I am, this is my journey, I own up to my journey. Trust me, your growth is going to scale. You are going to begin to fly at the speed of light. So the foundation of growth is self-awareness. All right? Know who you are. Aristotle once says that knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. Come on now. Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. When you know you, it simply means that you have sense, that your head is correct, and you will not be easily tossed about by messages here and there, flooding the internet, by different occurrences, because you know that you are a man on a journey, you are a woman on a journey, you are a masterpiece. There is so much residing within the fibers of your being. There is so much wisdom, there is so much knowledge. All right? When you are aware of you, you would also be able to build emotional intelligence. The reason a lot of times people are not resilient in their workflow, in their engagement, is because they don't have emotional intelligence. What happens at the level of emotional intelligence? You should be able to understand your triggers so that you can manage them. A lot of times we get exploded by anger, by rage, by disappointment, by distractions, whatever it is. Those are emotions. Sometimes it is even that you are not able to even manage your positive emotions like joy. All right, like happiness, like you're not able to manage them. You're just overly carried away by excitement, social media excitement. Oh, you've gotten a new friend. You're so excited and you're carried away by the things that you're supposed to be doing. You really do not understand how to even begin to navigate your level of growth, your level of ascension and connection. So, emotional intelligence is really lacking. When you have self awareness, you become more emotionally aligned. That's on a weekly basis. When you're done for this week, you know that on Monday I did this, on Tuesday I did that, on Wednesday I did this. Then by the end of the week, you can sit down quietly by yourself and just reflect. Just look at your journey so far. What happened? If you're the type that loves to journal like this, possibly you love to journal like this. All right? I've been journaling the since on the first of this year. Look at it. Now is today. All right? Journaling. Today is September 19th. Okay? September 19th, Friday. So when I'm done now, I will journal. All right? So, you see, I'm constantly journaling. Look at my sticky notes. I'm constantly taking notes. Right? I'm constantly taking notes. Do you see that? I'm constantly, for every new week, I understand what I'm looking at for. Right? So I'm so deliberate with it for you to understand that getting to know you is not about how you feel, right? Feelings are the voices of your emotions, right? Emotion is a compartment in the mind of a man, in the system of a man, in the faculty of your humanness. So feelings are the ways through which they are being expressed for you to even understand that there is something on the inside, for you to be able to read the signal on the inside of you. All right. Another thing that self awareness does for us is that it helps us to make better decisions. Better decisions. With it, we're able to make better decisions. All right. As humans, naturally speaking, we make over 32,000 decisions every single day. Somebody should type hallelujah. So now you'll be asking, Coach Faith, those decisions that we make on a daily basis, like, are they decisions that just come up and then we're like, oh my God, yeah, I have been able to make 100 decisions today. No, you would not even be able to calculate it. But the truth is, when you are sleeping, your mind is speaking. All right? Your brain is speaking. The day I came to realize that even your intestine speaks and connects to the brain through what we call the vagus nerve. Somebody should type vagus, Vagus, the vagus nerve. So from your gastrointestinal system or tract, there is a communication that goes to the brain, to the vagus nerve. So every part of you, every part of your personality speaks on a daily basis. Yes, that is spelling gentle. They speak on a daily basis. So even when you go to sleep, you are not quiet. There is a lot going on in the system. But then when you are awake, you have the ability to make conscious decisions. Let me talk about young people. A lot of times, young people are often caught in this trap. In this trap, when they want to marry, they can have five people on the list like that they want to marry, and then they take those names to their pastors or their prophets or their teachers to pray for them. And then they already have someone possibly that their heart is longing for. And they send those names to their pastor. So some people even go overboard. It's not bad to do that if you believe in it, but some people even go overboard. They send the names to like five, six pastors. At the end of the day, one is saying number one, another person is saying number three. Then you get confused even more. But what if you understood your vision? You understood your purpose. You were crystal clear about your journey. Will you be walking a perfectly? Then at the end of the day, whoever even comes to say, this is the person, it confirms what you already understood about your journey. Do you understand? It confirms. I met my husband in 3 months, we're ready to be married. The only thing that was stopping us was that there was no money. There was no money to marry. We already knew we were going to marry in less than 3 months. I'm just saying 3 months so that it will not seem as though I'm exaggerating. But it was actually less than a month. I'm telling you. It was actually less than a month. Do you see that? So you can imagine that when you are in a state of confusion, you will not be able to move swiftly. But you grow to the level where you become so aware of your journey, you understand who you are at your core, it becomes easy for you to make decisions. It becomes very easy for you to make proper decisions. Do you see that? So knowing yourself helps to facilitate that. Knowing yourself helps to what? Facilitate that process for you so that you're not confused. Now, do you know that you need more self awareness even in the times that we're in? Because we live in the most distracted generation. In fact, research, life, everything has proven it that this is the most distracted generation. Oh my God, we are the most distracted in history. On a daily basis, do you know how many content that is being uploaded on the internet? Millions of them, right? Research has even proven that the amount of content that is being uploaded on the internet on a daily basis, in fact, for more than 100 years, in some centuries ago, we weren't able to have access to such amount of information. So why would you be distracted? So you are constantly here and there. You are in between. You don't even know what to do. Self-awareness allows you to make proper decisions. So, at the core of personal development is getting to know you. All right? Let's move quickly. It is what? Getting to know you. Like if you do not know you, it is going to be difficult. What self awareness also do for you is that it helps you to be able to build meaningful relationships. All right? Formidable relationships. How many of you know Adam Grant? Adam Grant is the author of Give and Take. Mhm. He's also the author of Original. I don't know if I have that book. I think I have Original right here, but I can't really find it now. But he's the author of Original, right? He's also the author of Give and Take. When you read Give and Take, you come to realize where Adam Grant was talking about the fact that some people in life they give because they are looking for something in return. Do you get that? So they don't know how to build relationship. All they know is when I do this for you, a time will come you'll be able to do for me. Do me, I do you. God not the first. So if you do me good, I do you good. If you do me bad, I do you bad. That is not a matured kind of relationship that is built on self-awareness. Do you actually know that you can build a relationship on the basis of really know who you are? That yes, in this relationship, I know I'm meant to give. I know I'm meant to help this person become a better person. Yes, I'm a coach. I'm a personal development coach. When I say send DMs through a link to understand your growth pathway, to be able to build a personalized blueprint, then you can begin to emphasize and I just help you gain clarity. Like it's a mini coaching session of let's say 15 to 20 minutes per day with me for 3 days to have that level of clarity in your life. When I say that I am giving, I'm not expecting that you must give to me. No, I am not. But if eventually you have the opportunity to give to me and it is of necessity, good and fine. That is me giving my all. Do you get that? So there are relationships that some people it is money they know how to give. Like they can sponsor people for projects, for business, for whatever. We have those people they call the philanthropists, right? People like Bill Gates who are sponsoring projects in Africa, in different part of the world. These guys are called philanthropists, and they are organizations through which they deal with the communities that they are dealing with. So they don't come up and say, "Oh, I have $1 million. I want to share it. Come and meet me." Blah blah blah. No, they don't do it that way. They run it through an organization. I saw a lady this evening while I was on Instagram. A lady, I don't know, I think she's in Lagos State. All right. And Ando is something official Martins, right? So I saw her on I don't know how many of you have seen her before. What she does is that she goes to the streets to cook for the less privileged. All right. She goes to the street to cook. So possibly if you live in Lagos now, she could be in maybe a place in K2 or a place in Maryland, and then she sets her pot close to the major highway where people are passing by, and then she sits there like literally under the sun, the scorching sun, and she prepares a beautiful kind of meal, right? And then people are passing, she's serving them, those that cannot afford, she's giving to them. And children who are less privileged are coming. I was just so dazed. In fact, I spent over 5 minutes on her page. I was just scrolling. I was watching. Oh my God, what's going on here, right? so beautiful and she's doing that. That is someone who understands what she wants to do, right? She's on her eyelashes, she's looking all beautiful, and she's there cooking under the scorching sun, cooking different kinds of delicacies, right? Because she understands what she can do. She understands that this is who I am. So it's not a matter of competition or trying to mimic someone else or trying to speak like someone else. It's a matter of this is my journey, this is my lane, and I'm ready to run with my purpose. I'm ready to run with my assignment. I'm not going to be coerced. I'm not going to be carried away. I'm not going to be bamboozled to begin to do the things that are not connected to my life. So when I do this and I give out, I am not expecting this in return. But there are some people when they also build themselves in the place of self-awareness, they come into a zone and they know that this sort of relationship is about matching. All right? Adam Grant categorized this set of people into givers, matchers, and takers. I like to type that in the comments. Givers, matchers, and takers. Givers, matchers, and takers. And then he goes off and says, oh, because I know my journey, these conversations we're having right now, it's all about matching. I know it's a give and take thing. I know that when I give to you at this level, I am expecting this in return. And it must not necessarily be a bad thing all the time. It is that you are aware enough not to be walking in denial, not to be walking in darkness, all right, and be assuming that things will fall out another way. Do you get that? How many of you have noticed that maybe because of the movies we've watched in time past, or even because of some of the experiences we've seen, we have seen that the rich many a times they marry the rich, right? Because possibly they will say, "Oh, we see this in movies a lot. Oh, I will marry into that family. They will not do business together, business partners, and then we'll keep getting richer and richer and richer." How many of you have seen things like that, right? That is the matching kind of relationship. And if you are a son or a daughter and you bring somebody into the family that does not match up, that does not have the capacity to give you that exchange, they often say, no, I'm not interested. And it may not actually be a bad thing, 100%. You see, it may not. It is that at that level, you know who you are. You know what you are looking at for. It may be selfish to another person, right? It may really be selfish. But when it becomes a problem, is when you do not understand these different scenarios to say, am I giving in this relationship? Am I matching or am I taking? You must be able to create the balance. So self-awareness brings you into that realm to be able to do the needful. That even when you are entering into a mentorship relationship, you know that in this mentorship relationship, I'm here to take, right? It is for a season. Maybe a mentorship relationship is meant to be for 1 month, for 3 months. How many of you know that there are micro mentorship sessions like that can just be for 1 month? All right, some of them can be for 2 hours. There are platforms that offers micro mentorship sessions. Even in church, sometimes when you are in church, they do syndicate conversations where there are micro mentorship programs, and then you just have a conversation with someone. I remember many years ago, I was in the Redeem camp for a youth convention, and there was this season they asked us to converge. All right. So it was time for us to meet with mini mentors, like uh, to meet with maybe pastors or leaders and just have conversations with them. I think that was even less than 30 minutes. I'm telling you, it was less than 30 minutes. So these people don't know you apparently, and they may never meet you again. Like, in fact, the person that mentored me that very day, if I see them on the road, I will not even know they exist. They existed. I will not even know them. So that kind of scenario. And then when I met this individual, I was like, oh my God, I had a pain in my heart. I had a problem in my heart that I could not really share with an immediate mentor that was within my circle because I knew they would judge me because they knew my situation. So immediately I met this person, it was like a breath of fresh air. I was so happy. I poured my heart to this individual, and they gave me the best of advice on what to do. Do you get it? So that was really a profound experience. So I knew myself, and I knew that that relationship was meant to help me step out of the comfort zone at this level, and I could really relate to them. So it was really a taking experience, right? But there are some kind of mentorship where you are bringing something to the table, and the other person is also bringing something to the table. Mentor-mentee relationship, right? Your mentor knows more than you, has more influence than you, has more opportunities than you, and they are ready to teach you. And then in turn, you have a service to render them to make their life better. So it's a matching relationship most often. All right? It doesn't really matter whether you're giving 10% or the other person is giving 100%. That's not what counts here. What counts at the end of the day is that it's a matching relationship. All right? A giving relationship is that you are giving without expecting nothing in return. But the truth is, that is at the highest level of it. All right? It is at the highest level. That's what the Bible says. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Say hallelujah. It is more blessed to give than to receive. That is the highest level of it. And it takes a heightened level of self awareness for you to give something to someone without expecting anything in return. All right? It takes it because it is only the invisible God that can reward you at that level, right? It is not even you or your calculations. Or to say, when I do it this way and I do it that way, it will happen this way. No, it is not based on that. So if you become more aware and you give, you know that this is based on this. Do you understand? So self awareness allows you to be able to grow when it comes to your different ways that you relate and interact when it comes to relationships. Are you learning something? If you are learning, say, I am learning. Do you get that? So even when you are on the path of growth yourself, you also know the kind of relationship to enter into. Because right now, you know when you are suffering, you know where the shoes are hurting you so badly. You're not going to wing it for another 1 month. You're not going to wing it for another 3 months. Because you know at this level, this is the kind of growth I am looking forward to. So I'm not going to go and sit down inside one WhatsApp group where they are throwing ebooks and you're saying, send me this one. How many of you have been there? Send me this ebook. I've been looking for it. And now you can brag and tell your friends that you have tens of thousands of ebooks on your platform or maybe somewhere in your drive that you never read, that you never open. That's going to be you living in denial. That's going to be you living in foolishness because you already can see that at this level of my awareness on the path of growth, this is not the kind of relationship that I need. Okay? This is not the kind of relationship. This relationship, if I stick with it, it is not going to take me nowhere. All right? It is not going to take me nowhere. I have to deliberately seek out for people, peers, mentors, coaches that can elevate me, that can help me facilitate my growth. Someone once said that when you become rich and wealthy at 50, you want to be young again, you want to be 20 again. But those in their 20s, they are looking for how they can make it sharp, sharp, even before they get to 30. Those in their 30s are looking for how they can make it before they become 40. But at the end of the day, my friend, all of these things are happening. But the truth is, are you really, are you really on the path that is leading you somewhere? Right? Are you really on that path or you're just trying to wing it? So self-awareness allows you, I'm glad you're learning. Thank you for your feedback. So self-awareness allows you to be able to understand the sort of relationships that will take you further. Let's look at this stat. According to organizational psychologist Tasha Urich, she's the of insight. Yes, I very powerful book. Insight. Tasha Urich. According to her research, she says that 95% of people believe they are self-aware. Just like I asked the question, are you self-aware on a scale of 1 to 10? Many people did not answer. And the few that answered, I believe they answered without even understanding it in detail. All right? So, organizational psychologist Tasha Urich has proven through her research with her team in her work on self-awareness that 95% of people think that they know themselves. Some people would even brag and say, you don't know me. If you knew me, you would understand who I am. All right? 95% of people believe they are self-aware, but 10 to 15% truly are self-aware. Do you see the statistics? 95. They just believe that they know themselves. Some people would even say, don't worry, I know what I am doing. But really? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what we are doing? So when you keep walking through life, repeating mistakes, losing opportunities, entering into painful relationships that are not leading you anywhere, they are breaking your heart left, right, and center every single day, right? You're losing opportunities. You are entering into puzzles, into games, into things that are not propelling you forward. You are making mistakes every time. Will you also say that you are aware of you? Like you make impromptu decisions all the time. You step into some certain opportunities and you're just doing certain things and you're like, oh my God, why did I even do this? Right? it is because at your core, self-awareness is lacking. All right? Self-awareness is lacking. Your ability to begin to sit down and deliberately assess your journey is going to take you further. All right? So, how many of you would like to go back and research on the Johari window? Johari. Go and research it. There are links online through which you can do some analysis. Go ahead and research it. All right? Go ahead and research it. It is going to help you unlock some patterns that you never knew you had. And if you're smart enough, you may be able to utilize some of them for your own good. So let's talk about two dimensions of self-awareness. We have the internal self-awareness and then we have the external self-awareness. I like you to type it in the room. Internal and external. Internal and external. All right? So when somebody is saying you have to know yourself, we're talking about internal awareness, external awareness, right? We're talking about internal and external awareness. Okay? So internal awareness is when we talk about your passion, your goals, your reactions to situations, your values. In fact, next week I'm going to go deeper into values. I'm going to talk about it on a deeper level because a lot of us do not know what values are, right? We don't even know our values, like we're confused. You see that? So I want you to understand that there is such a thing as internal self-awareness where you can begin to understand your values. What are your guiding principles? Where you can begin to understand your passions. You can begin to understand your goals. All right? Why do you respond in a certain way? What is your purpose? Internal self-awareness allows you to be able to get yourself grounded on the path of spiritual clarity, on the path of spiritual stability, right? It allows you to do that. It also allows you to be able to gain clarity on the path of your mental stability because there are clarity at different layers. I told that in past sessions of our masterclasses. There are clarity required at different layers of your growth, at different layers of your alignment. There is a level of clarity you need for mental clarity, for spiritual clarity, for emotional clarity, for decision clarity, for directional clarity, a lot of it that you really need. So that when you are ready to make a move, you are not stuck, you are not confused because life in itself is actually tough. But there's a saying that when life becomes tough, only the tough gets going. As life gets tougher, the tough gets going. Who can really give me the quote the way it is exactly? I think there's a way it is. All right, but it simply means when you are tough, you will be able to overcome every toughness, meaning that you have the capacity to be tougher than the situation that is keeping you stuck, that the situation that is keeping you backward. You have the singular ability to be tougher. All right? So internal self-awareness allows you to be able to remove all the clutters in your mind, in your spirit, for you to be able to see clearly, for you to be able to think clearly, for you to be able to understand clearly what you are looking forward to. Then when we talk about your external self-awareness, we're talking about understanding your indie windows, for example, how other people see you. Okay? How do they see you? Like I spoke about the Johari window, you've got to go study it. Those are some of the things that happen at the level of externalities. Understanding how others see you. Okay? If, for example, something come across in your group, in your environment, in your community, what are some of the reactions that often play out, and how do people relate to those reactions, and then get back to you as a form of feedback that you too may not even be able to understand. Those things have a way of giving you clues about some of the things that you are not aware about yourself. Now, when we start talking about values next week, you understand that the values sometimes they play out in our daily interactions. Have you ever done something and then you go back and you're like, oh my God, I did not do well at all. I fucked up big time. How many of you have been there? Like you're like, oh, I fucked up big time. I shouldn't have said it that way, or I shouldn't have done it that way. Okay? Johari, Johari, Johari. Somebody should spell it in the comments. Yes, I fucked up big time. I shouldn't have done it that way. All right? I shouldn't have done it that way. All right? How many of you have liked this video? If you have not liked the video, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. All right? to make sure that this video goes far to reach as many people as possible. So the Johari window, okay? Yes, you've been there. Like you're like, oh, I fucked up. But are you supposed to kill yourself to that? No, you're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to lament. All you needed to do was to step up from that situation and then take all the cues that you can bring out of that situation to understand why you related or responded the way you did. That can give you a clue to certain things that you do not like about yourself, certain things you need to change, that you need to alter. Okay, let's say you overreacted to a situation instead of talking in a way that they could relate. You started yelling, you lamented, you did all of that. All right. At the end of the day, you go back and be like, why was I yelling? In fact, while I was yelling, it was almost as though they didn't hear me well. They didn't understand me. So can I talk softly next time? Can I change my language? Can I go deeper? That is it. The Johari window helps us to be able to build more awareness about ourselves. The next thing is what? Understanding the tool of journaling. I spoke about journaling already. You have to understand how to journal. Maybe some of our sessions we could talk about journaling. So people, you're going to be reminding me all of these things, right? So we could talk about journaling. All right, that's a whole different conversation. So deep a conversation, right? How many of you love to journal here? Let me know those that love to journal. If you love to journal, type journaling, 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 journaling. Let me see, let me see. So journaling is where you really sit that there are structured ways to do it, all right? Because some of them self-reflection, right? Because some of them mirror moments. Mirror moments, I also call it seller moments. A time where you sit down and you just zone into that situation. Like a lot of things happen today in your life, but you really zone into one thing. This is it. It's more like someone who is writing an autobiography and someone writing a memoir. It is that sort of relationship. Someone writing an autobiography is simply talking about everything about their life, from their childhood to when they went to school, this and that happened. That is an autobiography, right? A memoir is like an experience, okay, that you had along your life journey. So you can actually have one autobiography or one biography, but you can have multiple memoirs, right? Based on maybe what happened yesterday. You had a serious encounter, there was an epiphany, and then you want to put it together in a book. That is a memoir. You want to share part of your journey. All right? So you could actually have several memoirs depending on what the situation is. You get it? So journaling allows you to be able to take some time. Many of times it doesn't even take more than 10 minutes to ask yourself, what went on today? Right? What challenged me today? What did I learn about myself today? Trust me, even while you are journaling, you can now begin to expose yourself to certain opportunities about yourself, about the things you didn't know were there. Even as you're writing, I also do what we call audio journaling, like you speak your experience. You could just sit down this way and maybe you have something to record, maybe your phone or something. You're like, today was really beautiful, guys. Um, Today was really beautiful. I went somewhere and this was what happened. This was my major aha moment. You are journaling and you could actually transcribe that into a writer, right? If you are a great content creator, how many of you are content creators here? If you are a great content creator, you would understand the need for you to journal so well because in content creation, your ability to reflect on experiences is what content is about, right? Something might have happened yesterday and then you come up today and you're like, oh my God, yesterday I went to the supermarket. This was what happened. And I learned this and I learned that. I actually had this conversation with someone. I didn't even know that I had this kind of personality or this kind of value. Like I was so dazed and I was surprised. It's content. It's content. It came off of from the place of what? Reflection. So journaling is really about reflection or having seller encounters. SELAH. Seller. Pause and reflect. A pause and reflect encounter based on specific scenarios in your life. So it could be that you sat down to have those intimate conversation with yourself. Do you see that? So it could be that you sat down to just brainstorm, to brood. Sometimes I call it marination, right? You marinate, like, you marinate that butter on the bread. You're marinating it. You're making it look so good, look so wonderful. You're ensuring that they are synchronized, right? They're synchronized. Yes, that is it. seller moments, seller encounters. You're ensuring that they're synchronized, they're incongruent, they're flowing. So journaling allows you to be able to challenge your experience on a daily basis. Like if you don't even journal, like what are you doing with your life? How do you even begin to unravel your values and even become more aware of your daily experiences, of the things that are happening to you? Do you see that? And then we also do what we call feedback. That was why I said, remember the give, take, and match analogy. That if you want proper feedback many a times, you could work with a mentor, understand who you are, and then what kind of relationship can actually help you birth your next season, can actually help you birth your next level. All right? Do you get that? So meditation and prayer is also a powerful way. I wrote a post today on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, by the way, follow me at Faith Mike. If you're on LinkedIn, type LinkedIn. Let me know those of you that are on LinkedIn. If you're not following me yet, go and follow Faith Michael on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. I'm also active on Facebook. Okay. So today, I wrote content on consistency. I talk about the need for consistency and one or two right there. And then I asked the question, how do you often stay consistent? Because when we talk about consistency, it is really that sometimes we are tired of life because things are not working the way we have anticipated, right? So for me, how do I usually navigate those detours or plateaus? We call them plateaus or detours. Maybe you may understand it as that sort of roller coaster experience where life is not the way you expected it. Some of you might actually be experiencing it right now. Some of you might have rounded up experiencing yours yesterday. So it happens to everybody. Okay, you can call them life quakes. Life quakes. It happens to even the best intention amongst us. So I said, what do you normally do to navigate those experiences so you are able to stay consistent on the path of growth? If somebody says prayers, right? That was so mind blowing. Meditation is also a way to do that. You see that portion of the Bible in Joshua chapter 1, where God was reminding Joshua through the words of Moses that this book of the law shouldn't depart out of his mouth, that he should go ahead and continue to meditate day in and day out so that his ways can become prosperous. And then he would have good success, he would have good encounters, he would have powerful experiences. That was God reminding him to say, meditation is actually the medication that you need for your soul. I like you to write it in the comments. You need meditation to medicate your soul because we need healing on a daily basis. We need transformation on a daily basis. We need alignment and reattunement on a daily basis. So you need that level of meditation to be able to resourcefully get the necessary ingredients, the necessary information that will medicate you through the process of experiencing challenges. So meditation and prayer is also another way to what self-reflect. It's also another way to build self-awareness. Like you just sit down and you're meditating. It's what we call nature work. All right? Nature work. How many of you do nature work alone? Nature work is really about just maybe you could leave your house, okay, to walk in nature. Some people go to the bank of a sea or river bank or whatever, and they're just there. They are meditating. They are enjoying the nature and all of that. They're looking deep into the sea, or maybe they're walking in their neighborhood. All right, and they're just having conversations with themselves. They're talking about their tomorrow. They're talking about their next year. They're talking about that. So these are practices that when you stay connected to them, they're really going to help you build awareness on a deeper level. So as we round up for today, I wouldn't want us to spend more than 1 hour, 30 minutes today. All right, there's a lot we want to talk about, but we have to take it one step at a time, right? One step at a time. All right? One step at a time. Okay. So if you have any question, that is one other benefit of showing up in the class. You have one or two questions, I can address your question. But then let's talk about um, the pathway, the blueprint that allows you to be able to structure your personal development. I'm going to share it with you. And in every meeting, I'll try as much as possible to send you a reminder as well. Okay? So now the first thing you have to think about is who are you? Okay? The question of who am I has to be answered or attended to on a daily basis. Who are you, Gloria? Augustine. Who are you? Alex, Jethro, Favor. Okay? Who are you? That is the first thing you have to know while framing your personal growth journey. So, who are you? That has to be a question you unravel. All right. For those of you that will be applying for the growth roadmap framework, I'm going to be championing that conversation with you. All right. There's such a beautiful thing working with a coach to help you see patterns, right? So, we're going to be looking at who you are at your core. Because if you know who you are, where you are going will become more vivid. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Where you are going will become more vivid, meaning it will become clearer. Your eyes will be open, right? If you know who you are in the season, where you are going will become what? Easy. Someone once said, give me a place to stand in the world, and I will turn the world around. So you need to know where you are standing as an individual. Where are you standing? Who are you? So that is the question of self awareness. That is the first question you must answer in every season of your life. Number two, where am I going? What's my vision? What's my purpose? That is number two. Number three, what do I need right now? That's when I begin to talk about habits, your routines, your skills, and all of that. And then we'll now begin to talk about who will walk you through this journey. What kind of relationship do you need? What kind of mentors do you need? Who will walk you through that journey? All right? Who will walk you through that journey? And then lastly, how will you measure your progress? So if you're really growing, how do you measure it? If you can attest to the fact right now that you're growing, how do you attest? Okay? How do you attest that you are actually growing? Who gives the blueprint to measure it? Remember, I spoke about the fact that it has to be customized. Your journey has to be customized. And that's why you must walk through this path in every season. Anytime you are confused, you must walk through this framework and then commit to a 90-day growth plan. Commit to a 90 days plan and say, in the next 90 days, I am going to walk this path. I am going to walk this path in the next 90 days. Who am I? Where am I going? What do I need? Who will walk me through this journey? And how will I measure my progress? It may be that you need to begin to deploy yourself in the place of work. You need to begin to deploy yourself in the marketplace. Okay? You need to begin to deploy yourself in the place of assignment, right? You need to begin to deploy your services. You need to begin to deploy yourself so that your growth can be incongruent with your journey. We're going to run off now, all right? And I want to celebrate you for stopping by. This is the voice of faith. Michael, have you enjoyed the class? If you have enjoyed this class, type enjoy, enjoy, enjoy in the room. Let me see those of you that have enjoyed this class, all right? So Favor is also going to open the WhatsApp group briefly so you can share your testimonial from today's class, your highlight moment. What have you learned from today? Briefly, just share it in writing in the room, okay, so that we can read from you. We want to see your feedback. We're building a massive community, all right, by God's grace. We are building a massive community, and we're not stopping here. And that's why you have to invite your friends, you have to bring them on board, you have to become a crusader, okay, on this path. Remember, I told you that we are on the path of personal development. What we are doing is we are building capacity and we are preaching the message. We are sensitizing the public as many people as possible, all right, in different parts of the world, wherever they are, let them join us. 8 p.m. Friday. If there's going to be no class in a particular day, we would also let you know, right? But this is what it is. By December, we're starting off our membership. December 1st, we're starting off our membership for those that want to go deeper. But these classes are free, okay? So if you like to be part of those who work with me this week, 5 people this week, to go through this very framework, all right, and begin to implement, I'd like you to send me a DM, all right, through the link that will also be shared by Favor in the room. Okay, I see you. I see you. Jethro says, I enjoyed it. Interesting. Yes, you need meditation to medicate your soul. Evelyn, I believe that's through that for you, right? Yes, Excel says, I enjoyed it. Glory says, yes, I did. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. How many of us would love to be part of the class next week? Like you love to be in the class next week. We've just done an hour, 30 minutes. There could be days we do 3 hours. We'll do 2 hours, depending on how far we want to go for that day. All right? How many of you have enjoyed the class of today? If you have enjoyed it, say, I've enjoyed it, I've enjoyed it. And if you want us to go through that structure together, go ahead and click it. Like I said, those of you that I'm seeing your names here, once you apply, I will grant you that access um, at at a glance just by seeing that. Okay, I like to have these conversations with you so that I will see where you are on your journey. I want to have first-hand interactions with members of my community. I don't want to be that leader, that coach that is up high there and it's like a mountain that cannot be touched. Yeah, I want us to be together on this. Okay, I want us to do this together on a deeper level so that you cannot begin to do the work of purpose. You cannot begin to do the work of impact. So if you have a question, can you quickly drop your question? If I don't see any question in the next 1 minute, we're going to call it a night. Yes, it's been beautiful just doing this. Once again, my name is Faith Michael. I'm a personal development coach. What I do is simple. I help individuals, professionals, leaders build capacity to be able to do the work of impact, right? Influence their world and be able to set people on fire as well. So that as you learn, as you grow your capacity on the path of personal development, you can actually go out there and do the same thing. Remember the givers, matchers, and takers analogy. How many of you remember? Givers, takers, and matchers analogy. So you go back and just say, oh, I'm aware of who I am in this level of my life. So I am going to give at this level. Oh, I understand who I am at this level. I'm going to match. It's really about matching now. Yes, I'm aware. I'm not selfish, but based on my season, based on write your question already. Based on your season, based on where I am going to match. I'm going to take. I'm going to take. That is it. So all the different scenarios. I share a lot of stories, anecdotes within the sessions, so that you can relate with the teaching, right? So that you can relate. If you have not subscribed, I don't know why you are not doing that. Please go ahead and subscribe. Like when you do this, you amplify the message, and a lot more people can see this page. A lot more people can see this platform. And we're running ads every single now and then to get more new people in the room. So to get more new people in the room to join us on this path and to build capacity. So we want to be here and see 1,000 of you live learning and growing. We want to be here and see 1,000 of you live. How do I structure my growth? That is it. That is it. Apply for the growth roadmap framework. Apply for it. Let's have a conversation. I've given you the template, all right? But I can lead you through the process for 3 days, and then you actually do the work, give me feedback, and then you have a proper structure that can take you to the next level. That's if you qualify to participate, but you have to apply. I will send you details once you apply. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss you guys. Up until next week, I'll see you guys in class. Please go ahead. Favor, share the, go ahead and open the group so that they can share their testimonials, their feedback to encourage other people to be a part of this. Thank you so much. I love you already. Have a lovely weekend rest. Bye. See you all next week.